actually was the work of Dalton Trumbo. Reports but no confirmation until now. I pressed Frank King of the King Brothers, producers of the film, and for the first time he admitted Trumbo was the author. Then to Trumbo, and again for the first time he admitted it too. I asked if he can prove it.
Oh, yes. Well, this is just one version. I think this was, yes, March 1st, 1955. In the early stages, we called it The Boy and the Bull. I wrote it in 52. I have 3 or 4 other versions, but they're in a box in the attic. I'll be glad to get them for you or anybody else. But there's no problem about proving authorship. The problem in Hollywood has been to admit authorship. Even, well, here, you know, this stuff, contracts. The thing is there. There's no problem about that.
Can you name for us, sir, any other pictures you have written without using your own name?
Well, no. You see, these pictures were protected by anonymity, by agreement with the producers who needed that protection. And, of course, I would never violate that agreement. I couldn't do it. But there were many comedies, melodramas, westerns, practically all kinds.
From this point on, would you expect to have your name put on every picture you write?
Well, I have contracts covering work for approximately the next year. And, of course, these contracts call for pseudonyms, and I will naturally honor those contracts. But once I have discharged this present program of pictures, got them written and out of the way, then I will never again write anything for anybody without using my own name. Or, of course, Robert Rich's, too.
Why Robert Rich in addition to your own?
Well, through a grotesque chance, Robert Rich is probably the best-known screenwriter in the history of motion pictures. I like to be associated with him because I should like to be as well-known myself, although that's doubtful.
The Motion Picture Academy has just repealed its rule barring from awards communists or any uncooperative witnesses. In light of that, I asked Trumbo if he will claim the Robert Rich Oscar.
Well, you don't ask the Academy for award. The Academy is a private institution that confers awards. I must say that the whole uproar over Robert Rich 2 years ago was really not the Academy's fault. They voted the award. They had it on hand physically. They tried to present it. They tried to find someone to give it to, and I didn't arrive. I assume they still have it. And I imagine if they consider me qualified, that they, in their time and in their way, will make arrangements to confer it.
If you receive the Oscar, what do you intend to do with it?
Well, I have a daughter, 13 years old. I've been blacklisted since she was 3. She's known the title of every motion picture I've written in this study. And she's kept that title secret. She's been a soldier. When her friends say to her, as children do, my father does so-and-so, what does your father do? This has confronted her with a very real problem. It confronts her with the problem, and has since she was 3, of who her father really is, and what her father really does. I think I will give this Oscar, if I get it, to that girl. I think I will tell her, well, here is one secret you no longer need to be burdened with. I'll tell her we have our names back again.
The reaction of the Motion Picture Academy in just a moment after this for Gallo Wines. Producer George Stevens, president of the Motion Picture Academy, said any action by his group depends on verification of authorship of the brave one. Verification beyond doubt by the producers and the Writers Guild. If a claim is made and verified, then the Academy Board would have to consider the matter, since never before in the 31 years of the Academy has an award been voted but not presented. If all these points are met, said Stevens, he would see no reason to withhold the Oscar. Clearly, the next move is up to Dalton Trumbo. For Gallo Wines, that's tonight's special assignment.
10 o'clock report continues with Bill Stout and his special assignment, presented by Gallo.
A lot of excited talk in Hollywood today about the exclusive disclosure on this program Friday that Dalton Trumbo is Robert Rich. Rich, the name which appeared on the story The Brave One, honored with an Academy Award 2 years ago. And Trumbo, one of the Hollywood 10, a top screenwriter who served a year in prison for contempt of Congress. Now that the secret is out, I asked Trumbo if he returns to open employment in Hollywood, would he be willing to work with some of the people who have bitterly attacked film industry communists and left-wingers? Would he, for instance, work with Ward Bond or Adolph Manju?
Well, I don't agree with these people, with their opinions. But I have worked with both of them. I did a remake of A Bill of Divorcement with Adolph Manju, and I did A Guy Named Joe with Ward Bond, and I would do it again. They're excellent actors. The test of an actor is acting, not what he believes, not his politics.
Do you still contend that your political beliefs and associations and activities are your business and no one else's?
Oh, yes, of course. But the point is that I've never made a point of political secrecy. I have always been interested in politics. I've had many political discussions with many people. And I have always voluntarily told people what my affiliations were and what they are. But, of course, I will not do it for money. And I will not do it in order to get a job. And I will not do it for any little group of self-appointed vigilantes. And I certainly will not do it under legal threat by a committee of congressional snoops who have been condemned in terms of their questions and their methods by the Supreme Court itself. I just won't do it. There are chances, of course, in any man's life that he may, from time to time, change his political affiliation. As many men do. But that again would be my own personal concern to be revealed when I wish to, on a personal basis. I will not make public confessions of past error, if error existed, and I will not make recantation of error. It's not American. It has no relation to this country, and I will just have no part of it. No part at all.
So he hints at possible change in his political views, but insists it's a private matter. I ask if he sees a comparison between the political uproar in Hollywood and Russia's treatment of Boris Pasternak.
Oh, I see. A direct parallel. Parallel is the power of government, any government. The power of the government to assert that it can control the minds of a man, the writings of a man, his thoughts, his beliefs, his affiliations. It's the same thing. It's power in a different degree, but it's power, and that's the evil. Of course, Pasternak didn't go to jail, but on the other hand, I wasn't thrown out of the Screenwriters Guild as he was thrown out of his union. But the real problem all over the world, here, there, and everywhere, is this immoral assertion of power over the most private thoughts of men, and the assertion by government that it has the power to compel men to tell, to recant, to disgrace themselves, to swear they were idiots, to revoke their past and to spit on their work. This is what government wants in greater or less degree all over the world, and this is what nobody can do.
Sharp and bitter words from Dalton Trumbo, revealed now as the author of one Academy Award-winning story, and who admits writing a number of other films under assumed names, films which he will not name because he promised not to. I'll be back in just a moment, but first this word for Gallo wine. Dalton Trumbo's coming out in the open has cleared up one mystery, that of the authorship of The Brave One, but it also raises a number of questions. Certainly some Hollywood producers would never be willing to hire him, but others obviously have been willing in the past and presumably would be in the future. As for the Oscar awarded the author of The Brave One but never picked up, that's a problem that will have to be solved by the governors of the Motion Picture Academy. For Gallo Wine, that's tonight's special assignment.